That's correct, Steve. He certainly did, and it's nice to have Brenton back. We struggled a little bit Friday night, but with Brenton back, everything should be back to normal, and the engine should be running. So here we go.
Well, we're about to start the tip-off for tonight's game here in the pit. St. Augustine's pit. And St. Augustine's ball first. Your starting lineup for tonight for the Saints. Brett Lamar. Juan Moreno, Drew Madsen. Start for the La Jolla Vikings, Tyson Young, Zach O'Hara, Kevin Cruz, the senior, who's stepping in for the injured Manny Torres. He averages about 6 points a game. Cameron Baggett and David McCall, who's their top rebounder, will try to put a stop to the win streak for the Saints.
Absolutely. If you're Mike, we're only 20 seconds into the game, but you had to love that first offensive sequence. Every player on the court touched the ball, got the ball inside, got the foul, and Drew Madsen at the free throw line.
On the board with a point. We're in the first quarter play with 7:40 left. And the Vikings get the ball, bring it up the court. David McCall, look for the open man. St. Augustine's with the man-to-man threat. And La Jolla with the ball. And Tyson Youngs will drive it to the basket and will go off the foot of Brent Lamar, and that'll be the La Jolla Vikings ball with 7:26 left here in the first period. The Vikings will try to bring in the ball. They'll be unsuccessful. They'll be blocked by the Saints. The Saints are playing pretty good defense already here, as we normally don't see a full court press or man-to-man defense at this early game. Everyone stays here in the game.
That's That's correct. I think Coach Hoff wants to set the tone. You know, this is a team that they should obviously beat, so he wants to set the tone early and get this game under control.
Saints will get the ball back. Got 7-12 left here in the first quarter. You're watching Western League Conference High School basketball. Saints get the ball.
The only thing you can say right now is welcome back, Brenton. Timeout by La Jolla at 6-0 St. Augustine, and that's the way you want to start the game. That's correct, Steve. There's an unwritten rule in the coaching fraternity. You never want to really take the first time out. It's obviously a sign of weakness, but sometimes you just have to do it. So it was a good timeout by La Jolla. They need to regroup there.
St. Augustine Saints to the pit again, looking for their third win. 6:30 left here in the first quarter. Saints are up 6-0. La Jolla Vikings in town. Tyson Young brings up the ball. We'll look over to his wingman. Over Zapahara. O'Hara passing on over to number 20, Kevin Cruz, the senior who's in for the injured Torres. And he comes up with his first three of the night.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Someone who doesn't normally start to come in and hit that shot, bring La Jolla right back into it, 6-3.
Now with the ball. You're watching high school basketball on San Diego School Network. And talking about Mike Coughlin, 17 years here at Saints. Of course, you were a little bit earlier before this time, but Mike's one of the most head coaches in all of San Diego.
And just an all-around good guy, too, on top of that. So, yeah, we all root for him. He has a lot of support here at Saints.
Sure does.
Yeah, they've done some really good things already in this game. They've forced a 10-second call on the press. They've got a nice offensive rebound for a putback. They want to crash the boards. We're a little bit taller than La Jolla, and we're playing pretty tough defense. So that's all a good combination, a good recipe for success.
Another substitution by head coach Mike Koch to bring his junior, Cooper DeGraw, in the game. The Saints already up by 9 in this one.
Yeah, Steve, that was coast to coast, and the reason it happened was because they forced a turnover. So the defense, once again, creating turnovers, which turned into easy buckets.
You're watching high school basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Tom Davis and the Network for Educational Access, bridging education and business. Steve Eicher alongside Eddie Mendoza, the La Jolla Vikings coming to the pit to challenge the St. Augustine Saints, who are 5-4 now in league. They're playing above just 500 ball. The La Jolla Vikings with a 3-18 record, 0-8 in league, still need to look for that first win. Kamal Asaf doing a great job thus far, 8 years as head coach. He's also a history teacher here at a local high school in San Diego, and I talked to him before the game, and he said, I bring a young team to the court who has heart, but he's always said that it's always been a rivalry against the Saints, and he said he has a lot of respect for Mike Top and loves coming here to play basketball.
Absolutely. They've both been, like you said, coaching against each other for 8 years. I think they have a nice little bond and a friendship there. And La Jolla a couple years ago had our numbers. I think La Jolla was back-to-back CIF champions, and they usually took it out on Saints in one of those playoff games. So it's kind of nice now to turn the table a little bit.
Yeah, to compliment you on that, CIF champions in 2008, 2009, and head coach Kamal Asaf, he led his team to the finals in 2010. So I think he's going to bring this young team around next year, and I think they're going to be really competitive in the Western League play, Eddie.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree with that.
Saints will bring up the ball, will score another 2, 14-5, 9 points ahead of the Vikings, who come to town without their big man, Manny Torres. Torres out injured. Top scorer of the team, scores about 15 points a game. One of their top rebounders as well, as I was talking to their head coach. And when you don't have your best guy on the court, the other guy's got to step up. La Jolla's doing that right now. They're playing good basketball. I think they're trying to find their confidence. They need to be a little bit more consistent, slow the ball down a little bit.
That's correct, and what you just saw right there was another example of just good pressure defense. Saints has already made La Jolla have a 10-second call in the backcourt, and the clock was winding down there to about the 8-second mark, making Coach from La Jolla call the timeout. So now they've already used 2 timeouts, and there's still 4 minutes left in the first quarter. So good defense helps you in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and that second timeout is brought to us by Bullies East. Whether it's brunch, lunch, or dinner, it's served until midnight. Bullies is sure to be a pleasurable dining experience, so come on down and join us after the game and see the crew and Derek at Bullies. Saints with the ball with 4:08 left, and the big three-point play from Brent Jones, who just enters the game. And it's 17-5 already, Eddie, and we're only 4 minutes into this basketball game.
Oh, yeah. That three-pointer was an NBA three-pointer, too. He came down and just spotted up. That reminded me of the old days there. When you came across half court, you were open, and he drained it.
Speaking of the old days, you played here back in 1977, and if I'm not mistaken, you just told the team to bring the ball up the court and give you the ball, and the ball always went in the net. I think you were 96% from the floor.
Well, I can tell you that's absolutely not true, but...
Anyway, there was some exciting basketball back in the late 70s, and you've just done a wonderful job and bringing great basketball to the Saints. 3:41 left here in the first period. Steve Eicher alongside Eddie Mendoza, and it's the St. Augustine Saints now up by 12 of the Vikings. Vikings to bring it inside. He'll give it on into Cameron Baggett. Baggett will pass to the outside to Tyson Youngs, who puts it up for a three-pointer, 17-8. And the Vikings kind of back in this ballgame with that big three-pointer.
Absolutely. The three-point can kill you or it can really help you, and it's helping the Vikings right now to stay within shouting distance. 3 minutes left, it's 17-8, down by 11. You'd like it to be a little bit closer if you're a La Jolla fan, but they're hanging in there.
We'll get a full-court press now from the Saints. La Jolla will bring up the ball. Eric Browning, he'll pass it on over to Tyson Youngs. Youngs will give it up over to David McCall. Vikings will shoot it. It'll be off the backboard and rebound by Cooper DeGraw. DeGraw will bring it up with 2:56 left. He'll give it on inside to Jake Ryan, will enter the game for the first time. And in the inside pass to Juan Moreno. Moreno up with an easy layup and in and out with 2:45 left on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. And the outside shot from Eric Brown will be an air ball, and the rebound by Cooper DeGraw and a fast break. And the Saints will bring it up. Jake Ryan now with the ball and a turnaround, and the layup is good. 19-8 here in the first period of play. The Vikings now bring up the ball and pass it on over to Cameron Baggett. He'll look to the inside, and he'll get pressure from Juan Moreno. We get a 5-second violation call, and we'll give the Saints back the ball. Now, the Saints are putting some pretty good pressure on this Viking team.
That's correct, Steve. And the nice thing about it right now is there's only one starter on the floor for Saints. So no matter how deep you go down the bench, everybody comes in and plays good, tough defense.
Yeah, we got some new faces in there. Jack Drapp now into the game. Cooper Graw will bring it up. He'll pass it on over to Brent Jones. Brent Jones will look the inside. He'll give it on over to Jack Drapp. He'll pass it back inside. And the Saints now with a commanding lead, 21-8. 13 points ahead with 1:48 left here in the first period. And a full court press by the Saints, and they're not going to let this one down.
No, I don't believe so.
La Jolla bring up the ball in an attempt and a layup by Cameron Baggett. We'll go in and off the backboard, and we'll get a foul on the Vikings on number 22, Cameron Baggett. It'll be his second foul of the night, and Cameron Baggett playing some aggressive basketball tonight. I like to see that from this young team.
Absolutely. You would never know that they're 0-8 in the league. Like I said at the beginning of the show, they're looking for that one signature win, and they're struggling a little bit now, but there's a lot of ball left.
Cooper Graw bringing up to Jones. Jones on the inside to Juan Moreno. Juan Moreno will fall on the floor with Viking David McCall, who is their top rebounder, as Manny Torres, the big-time senior of the Vikings, is out injured. Saints will bring the ball in with 1:25 left, and we'll have a foul on number 21, Jack Drapp. And that'll give the Vikings back the ball with 1:25 left, Eddie. 21-8 here in the first period of play. You're watching Western League High School basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. Tyson Youngs will bring up the ball. He'll pass it on the inside to Daniel Farkas. Farkas will go up with it, miss the easy layup. The rebound by Brent Jones, and he just forgot to pass the ball on that one. He jumped up in the air and forgot what to do with it.
Exactly. His mind wanted to do one thing, and his hands did something else. So that's another turnover, but it's okay.
David McCall from the Vikings are bringing the ball. He'll pass it on the inside. It'll be passed to Zach O'Hara. O'Hara will go up for the reverse layup. And the Vikings now behind the Saints by 11, 21-10, with just under a minute to play here in the first period. Saints will bring up the ball. Fast break into the basket. Jack Drapp will go up. He'll be blocked on the layup from the Vikings. Vikings out with the ball. Zach O'Hara will drive it to the basket. He'll look over to Madigan Sanders. Sanders will give it back to McCall. And not for sure what call that was, Eddie. I'm not for sure if he stepped out of bounds or if it was knocked out by the Saints.
Yeah, I think one of the Saintsmen kicked the ball out of bounds, so it's coming back to La Jolla. 40 seconds left, so they'll probably run the clock down, try to get this last shot and not give Saints enough time to get one off, but we'll see.
Youngs has the ball. He'll pass it on over to O'Hara. O'Hara will drive to the basket, and he'll be blocked by Juan Moreno. Saints now with the ball. 26 seconds left. Brent Jones will pass it on over to Jake Ryan. Ryan over to Cooper DeGraw. DeGraw in the inside to Juan Moreno. He'll go up for the two and in and out, but it'll be fouled and go to the line for two shots, Eddie.
Yes, that was excellent offense by Saints. I love to see that. You work the game inside out. Establish your dominance in the middle and then kick it out, and it's amazing how those 20-footers you become wide open. But this team that's on the floor right now has been pretty impressive the last 3 minutes. A lot of good offense, moving the ball, and really trying to pound it down in the middle.
And I was talking with Mike Hopt earlier, and I asked him, what do you tell your team about a game like this, even though their record shows that their record doesn't show their ability to play basketball, but the Vikings have come out here and they're playing some pretty good basketball and staying up with the Saints. He said, just go out there and score.
That's correct. Yeah, when you know you're going up against a team that's 0-8 in league, you just have to focus. You have to challenge yourself to forget about the schedule, forget about the score. You're on the court. You got to run your offense, play tough defense, and just make it happen.
The Vikings will bring up the ball with 10 seconds. They'll step out of bounds. Head coach Kamal Asaf didn't like that one. The Saints will bring it back up the court. And a big three-pointer from Brent Jones, and another three-pointer. That's the third one tonight. And we've seen from the Saints, and now they're up 26-10 here in the first quarter of play. So after 8 minutes here in the first quarter, the St. Augustine Saints up on the La Jolla Vikings, 26-10. And tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. Self-storage and Bullies East in Mission Valley, and we're into the second quarter of play here at the pit at Doherty Gym at the St. Augustine High School gym. The Vikings are bringing the ball. 26-10, the Saints over La Jolla. And La Jolla will get a fast break over to Cameron Baggett. He'll miss the easy layup. Saints will bring up the ball. It'll be taken away by David McCall, who's playing very aggressive basketball tonight. McCall will give it on over to Cruz. Cruz, the senior, who's in for the injured Torres. Pass it in the fast break inside to Zach O'Hara. O'Hara will save it. And a foul on the Saints with 7:20.
I think that was a foul on Dixon. He was a little over-aggressive, and La Jolla did a little backdoor cut, and Dixon got caught napping. That obviously won't make Mike too happy, but the ball went out of bounds, so La Jolla ball.
Spencer Dixon, or John Dixon, now into the game for the Saints. And La Jolla with another fast break to the basket, and the easy layup will be missed, and the rebound by the Saints. Brent Lamar will bring it up. He'll pass it on over to his wingman, John Dixon, with a big three-pointer, and it's 29-10 here in the second period, Eddie.
It's raining down threes here in the pit. They're shooting a lot better than they did Friday night. I think there are 4 or 6 from three-point range already.
And a commanding lead already by the Saints, and they've frazzled La Jolla Vikings now. And the fast break by the Saints, and in there for another 2, and it's 31-10 with 6:40 left. Eddie, La Jolla's going to have to do something to get back into this one.
Yeah, well, that was a textbook fast break right there. Crash the boards, get the rebound, hit the outlet man, take it to the middle, and take it right to the hoop. Saints they're clicking on all cylinders right now. There's not much La Jolla can do about this.
And that'll bring us to our next timeout. And tonight's timeout has been brought to you by the St. Augustine Alumni Association. Upcoming alumni events include the San Diego Parochial Basketball Tournament and the 2012 St. Augustine Alumni Golf Classic, which will be held on May 11th at the beautiful Sequan Golf and Tennis Resort. Save the date and join us for exciting golf. For more information, visit us on SDPSN.com and by the good folks from Bullies East. Whether it's brunch, lunch, or dinner, come on down and enjoy award-winning prime rib, fresh seafood, steaks, rib sandwiches, and a great children's menu at Bullies in Mission Valley. Eddie, 6:34 left here in the second period, and already the Saints up with a 21-point lead. We're seeing a lot from Mike Kopp with the changes that he's making, and he's getting some of these young players in there like John Dixon, Cooper DeGraw's in there, who was in for Brent Lamar the other night. He did a wonderful job, and it's just good to see that some of these younger players are getting some playing time here at home in front of the home field crowd.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Mike. It makes everybody happy who's sitting on the bench. They love to see blowouts so they can get in the game, gets their attitude right. A lot of team harmony going into the last game of the season and then into the playoffs. So this should be a good game for the Saints all the way around for everybody on the team.
Saints with the ball now. Trey Kell will bring it up, and he'll hit the 5-footer from the paint. He'll knock it in for 2, and he'll be fouled by Zach O'Hara with his first team foul of the night. Trey Kell, his first time to the line tonight, will score a 3-pointer and put the Saints up by 24 here in the second period of play. La Jolla will bring it in. It'll be taken away by the Saints. And Trey Kell will be called for a charging foul, and he's down on the floor. Looks like he's going to be okay. He's limping it a little bit.
I think that was a block, Steve, and Trey Kell, not only did he go to the free throw line and hit the free throws, he stole the inbounds pass, drove to the lane, and now he's going to go to the free throw line. So he's doing a little bit of everything right now.
Trey Kell looking pretty good, stepped it up for the Saints while Brent Lamar was out sick last Friday as the Saints beat Scripps Ranch. here at the pit on an alumni celebration night. And Eddie, you were here with me. It was a great time. The fans and the place was just packed. And, God, it was an exciting night of basketball, and the Saints winning. Can't ask for more than that.
The pit was rocking Friday night. It was definitely just like old times. It was a great game, well attended, and Saints, more importantly, got the victory. So it was a wonderful night.
Well, now with the ball. David McCall will bring it up. He'll pass it on over to Eric Brown. Brown will give it on in to the inside. A rebound by La Jolla. And the 15-footer by Zach O'Hara, and he'll be fouled as he goes up. And he'll go to the line to shoot two with 5:54 left here in the second period. 36-10. Saints up by 26. Zach O'Hara, his first shot from the line. He'll sink it. O'Hara, a junior, he'll be coming back next year. A good little player. And Kamal Asaf really likes the way this kid plays basketball.
Yeah, he's really high on him when we talked to him before the game. He's very excited about him coming back next year.
He's 2 for 2 from the line. He's shooting 100%. O'Hara. The Saints will bring the ball up. And a shot and a 15-footer from the Saints, and the rebound by the Vikings. Tyson Young pass it on over to O'Hara. O'Hara look the inside of Youngs. They'll pass it on inside to Cameron Baggett. Baggett up with an easy layup for two. And now the Vikings behind 36-14 in the second period of play. You're watching Western League Conference High School basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. Saints for the ball. Drew Peterson will take the 20-footer. He'll miss. The rebound by the Saints.
Another great offensive rebound and put back by Juan Marino. He's wound up like a toy on Christmas morning. He's just all over the court.
He's their top rebounder for the Saints. Loya now with the ball, getting pressure from the Saints. Saints will take the ball away. Drew Peterson will bring it up. He'll pass it on over to Brent Lamar. Lamar will look for the inside pass. He'll pass it on in to Drew Matson. Matson will go up for the layup, and he'll be fouled. He'll go to the line for two.
That was excellent offense right there. Nice ball fake by Trey Kell. Backdoor to Drew Matson, and he went to the rack and just got hammered. So we'll see him at the free throw line shooting two now.
Matson, another one of the St. Augustine's top rebounders. Averages about 10 points a game. And the first free throw for Matson is off the rim. And
I was just about to say, Steve, is it my imagination that Saints is making free throws and Drew clanks one, so hopefully they'll get back on track. But they're shooting free throws a lot better tonight than they did Friday.
And the Saints looking very sound from the last two games with free throws and their outside shooting. And Matson will miss both of those. And we'll get a loose ball foul on the Saints, and it'll turn it back over to the Vikings with 4:37 left here in the second period. The Saints up by 24 now.
That was a tough call on Drew Peterson there. He worked hard to get the offensive rebound off the miss off the free throw line, and then got called for an offensive foul. Not sure about that, but play continues.
La Jolla bring it up. They'll miss the 5-foot off the backboard. The rebound by the Saints. They'll bring it back up with 4:20 left to play. You're watching Western League High School basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. Steve Eicher alongside Eddie Mendoza, longtime and all-time great basketball star from St. Augustine. And Eddie, the next time the Saints play here at home is this Friday night against University City. 7:30 game. Stands should be packed for that one. Fans will enjoy one last home game before they move on to Lincoln, who's been tough throughout the season. Lincoln, who is 7-1, now probably 8-1 now with their win this past week. And they'll have to get past a tough Lincoln team to stay in contention for the playoffs.
That's correct. Division III, Saints is pretty much guaranteed to be in the playoffs, but you take one game at a time. So the coaching staff will take this crew, get them ready for Friday night, and worry about Lincoln after that Friday night game.
Saints with the ball. Brent Jones with another three-pointer will put the Saints up 41-14. 3:45 left in the second period.
The Vikings now with the ball. Tyson Young's dribbling, getting the pressure from Brent Lamar, and he'll pass it on the inside to number 24, David McCall. McCall will get the 2 points and go to the free throw line to make it a three-pointer.
Yeah, that was excellent offense by the Vikings. Handling the full court pressure, keeping your eyes open, seeing the full court, spotted his man underneath, quick bounce pass, made the layup, got fouled, and now La Jolla's at the free throw line.
David McCall, the top rebounder, next to the injured Manny Torres, and he'll miss that one and go in and out. Saints will get the rebound with 3:30 left here in the second period. Cooper DeGraw into the game, and he'll overthrow. I believe it was Brent Lamar. It'll be tipped off by La Jolla. Saints ball. Lamar will bring it in with 3:25 left. Lamar, who was out sick last Friday, missed the game in a Saints win over Scripps Ranch, who was here on alumni night as the Augustinians were celebrating 90 years here at Saints, Eddie.
Yes, it was a fantastic night, and Brenton is back, and Brenton's doing all the wonderful things that he does, penetrating, dishing off, breaking down the defense, creating fouls, and sending the Saints to the free throw line. So he's doing all the things that we've come to expect out of Brenton. He's absolutely one of the best players in the city of San Diego right now.
And he's a junior, and he's coming back next year.
Hooray, hooray. That's got to bring a smile to Coach Hop's face.
Yeah, 90% of this basketball team is coming back. I only see 3 seniors. The rest are juniors, and Trey Kell, who's also an incredible basketball player. He's got 2 more years here with Mike Hop.
That's correct, and we were here a little bit early, so we caught the JV game, junior varsity game, and the Saints junior varsity team looks pretty solid too, so he'll have a lot of help from that team.
Yeah, there was a young guy on that team. I was watching that game with you, and I think he dunked it. I think he's like 5'6", and he was slamming the ball down. And just amazing athletes coming up through the Saints farm system with Mike Hop. But remember, don't forget about their competitors tonight, the La Jolla Vikings, who have a young junior team. They'll be back next year with their head coach, Kamal Asaf, and his assistant, Paul Baranowski, and they're going to gear up for the 2012-2013 season next year. You look for this Viking team to be in contention here next year overall and in league play, Eddie.
Oh, most definitely. He's one hell of a coach, and things are cyclical. You don't always get the best kids each year, but they'll be back, and he has a good nucleus right here that he's coaching. So they expect some better things for La Jolla next year.
2:30 left here in the second period. Saints up 43-16. The Vikings with the ball. Youngs will bring it up. Saints with a full court press, man to man. Youngs will take the shot himself from the outside, and the 15-footer off the rim, no good. Rebound by Brent Lamar. Lamar in the fast break to Cooper DeGraw. Out to the wide to Brent Jones with the 3-pointers off the rim and no good, and they'll go out of bounds. And La Jolla will have the ball on a timeout. Or no timeout. Correction. And La Jolla will bring in the ball. David McCall bring it into Youngs. And the press by Cooper DeGraw. Youngs will pass it on over to O'Hara. O'Hara up with a 3-pointer off the rim. And a rebound by La Jolla. And it'll go off Cooper DeGraw with 1:51 left here in the second period. Saints up 43-16, and you're watching Western League High School Conference Basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. The Vikings with the ball. Daniel Farkas, who just entered the game, will pass it on over to O'Hara. O'Hara to the outside over to Youngs. Youngs will take the 3-pointer. It'll be off the rim. The rebound by Cooper DeGraw. He'll pass it on over to Brent Jones. Brent Jones will look for the inside. He'll get blocked. He'll pass it back on over to Jake Ryan. Ryan over to Jones. Jones will overthrow the big man, Jack Drapp, the big 6'6" junior. And it'll be a turnover. And a ball back to the Vikings with 1:19 left, Eddie.
Yeah, it was a good offensive sequence. He saw the floor. He did the right thing. The only problem was the pass was uncatchable. So you got to know your bigs down there, how hard to throw it in. You got to feather that thing in there like Eli did on Sunday.
And a great fast break to the basket for the Vikings. And and a missed opportunity. And Zach O'Hara, who's
playing great defense tonight, making some great shots. Falls right in front of the booth here.
I thought we were going to have to catch him there, Steve. But I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with La Jolla. They're definitely outmanned, outsized, but there's absolutely no quit. These kids are really hustling, and my hat's off to them.
No, I like the style of play. And the Saints with the ball with 46 seconds left. We'll get in a couple of shots. The ball will go over into the band area. And I'm glad that Jack Smith decided not to jump and save that ball, or he would have been part of the band and playing drums, and the cymbals would have been all over the floor, Eddie.
Absolutely.
Saints with the ball, 40 seconds left here in the second period. 43-16. Jones with the ball. He'll pass it over to Graw. To Graw to the inside. To Drapp. Drapp will give it back to Jones. Jones looking for the shot. He'll drive. He'll give it on over to Drapp. Drapp with a 15-footer is off the basket. No good. Rebound by the Saints. They'll restart it with 21 seconds left. And a timeout by the Vikings with 20 seconds left, Eddie.
Actually, it was a timeout by Coach Hop. Some would wonder about that, leading 43-16. Why would you call a timeout with 20 seconds left in the second quarter? But he's got a couple of the second string in there, and this is a coaching opportunity. He wants to set up a last-second play, get the last shot of the first half. So it's all about teaching. He's actually teaching right now and obviously doing a good job. So we'll see if Saints can convert this last basket here.
Hey, you put yourself in this situation with the guys he has out on the floor, and if you don't give them the coaching that you were just talking about, come next year when they're asked to step up their game, they're going to know with 20 and a half seconds left, if they're down by a couple of points, what are you going to do? Here's what you have to do: stay focused, be consistent, and play your game.
Absolutely.
17 seconds left here in the second quarter. A timeout brought to you by Bullies East, whether it's brunch, lunch, or dinner. We're serving it until midnight. The Saints with the ball be taken away by La Jolla. La Jolla with a last-minute chance here in the first quarter, and they'll drive to the basket, and Zach O'Hara will put it up, and the layup no good, and the last chance basket from all the way down from the other end of the court by the Saints will go off the backboard, no good.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the last sequence is exactly what Mike drew up in the huddle, having Saints taking the last shot with about 5 seconds, giving La Jolla a chance with the rebound to go down and score. Saints was lucky to get out of that offensive sequence, but at 43-16, I think that the halftime speech will be a little bit toned down in there in the Saints locker room.
And that'll end the first half of play here at the pit as the La Jolla Vikings are down against the Saints here, 43-16, and you're watching Western League High School Basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com, and we'll be back with our second half of play right after this. And we're back here at the pit on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. If you're just joining us, welcome, as the La Jolla Vikings have come to Saintstown as the Saints are up by 27 points. It's 43-16. We got a minute left before we start this second half, Eddie. And we were talking earlier about the La Jolla Vikings and the way that Kamal Asaf, in his 8 years of head coaching at La Jolla Vikings, has had some successful years. This year, not too successful, but he's preparing his juniors
as seniors for next year, and they're going to be pretty good come next year.
Oh, absolutely. The score tonight is definitely not indicative of anything the Coach Assam is doing over at La Jolla. He's had some successful years at La Jolla, and his team is playing with everything they have. It's just unfortunate this year. They're outmanned. They're not as quick as Saints. They're not as tall as Saints. It's just tough on them. But, every now and then you have to do that. It builds character in your young players, and I'm sure they'll come back next year with a vengeance, and they'll be back on the upswing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Kamal Asaf coming back, and his assistant, Paul Baranowski, as Kamal was a graduate of Whittier College, and he also played there as well. So he's got a lot of history and a lot of talent and a lot of experience with basketball. Mike Haupt, another great basketball coach of 17 years here at Saints, was an alumni of Mira Mesa High School. Mike and I went to school together and played ball together. And then he got a scholarship and went to USD and did really well there for 4 years, and then turned around and was the assistant head coach, and then decided to take the job on here as the head coach here at Saints. And now he's the head of admissions. And he's done wonderful in the last 17 years. A couple of CIF championships, some league champions, some finals. And I'm looking forward to second half of play with you, Eddie.
That's correct, Steve. Like we said in the opening, Saints needs to be the Saints SEAL Team 6. Get in, get it done, and get out. And obviously a 43-16 lead. They are getting it done.
And we're into our second half of play here in the third quarter, and the Saints come right out and score another 2. It's 45-16, and you're watching Western League High School Basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Tom Davis and the Network for Educational Access, bridging education and business, and by Bully's East. Bully's features award-winning prime rib, fresh seafood, steaks, sandwiches, and a children's menu. Come on down and join us for brunch, lunch, or dinner. We're serving it up until midnight, a pleasurable dining experience. Come on down and see Derek and the crew at Bully's East in Mission Valley. 7:07 left, 45-18, the Vikings visiting here at the pit. Saints up by a lot. Steve Eicher alongside Eddie Mendoza, longtime basketball great from 1977, played here on this very floor in this very court. La Jolla now with the ball. Youngs will drive to the basket. He'll be fouled by number 11, Brenton Lamar.
And Steve, just as we suspected, La Jolla comes out from halftime, out of the locker room, runs a great offensive set, gets the layup, and now coming down, passing the ball around, driving to the hoop, and they get fouled. They're at the free throw line. That's where they need to spend a lot of time in the second half if they're going to make up this gap.
Absolutely, Eddie, and they're going to have to play great defense, and they're going to have to get those defensive rebounds, and they're going to have to score free throws and make those easy layups. Youngs, he'll make 1 of 2, 45-19 here in the third quarter. Trey Kell with the ball. He'll drive it himself to the basket, and he'll be fouled on the way up by La Jolla.
Excellent drive to the hoop by Trey Kell, using his left hand, going straight up, initiating the contact, getting the foul, and now he'll be at the free throw line to convert his free throws, hopefully.
Cameron Baggett with his third personal foul of the night. He's getting into foul trouble here early in the second half. And Trey Kell will go to the line, and he'll make his first of 2, 46-19. Saints against the Vikings. You're watching high school basketball on San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. And Kell will miss the second one, and the rebound by the Saints. They'll rebound it. They'll go in and out of the basket. La Jolla will bring it up. It'll be taken away by the Saints. Brent Lamar will bring up the ball with 6:20 left. He'll look for the open man, and it'll be taken away by Youngs. Youngs with the fast break to the basket. It's one-on-one against Lamar, and he'll win that contest. A great fast break for the La Jolla Vikings, and they're 46-21. Looking pretty good here in the second half.
Excellent steal. He pickpocketed Brennan, went all the way down. Nice head fake, went up and got the basket. Good decision by Brennan not to foul him.
Saints with the ball. Trey Kell will pass it to the big man on the inside. Juan Moreno will go up. He'll be fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 5:50 left.
Yeah, Steve, you're seeing what's happening. Saints has come out to start the second half, and the interior passing has been perfect. They're inside. Obviously, they're dominant in there. But, they'll get them to the free throw line, score points without the clock running. They're doing exactly, I think, what Coach Hop wants them to do.
And he also brought his starters back in to start off the second half. And I'm sure we're going to see lots of substitutions from Coach Mike Hop here in this game as he's given his star players a little bit more playing time. Saints with the ball. Trey Kell passing on over to Drew Peterson. Peterson on over to Brent Lamar. Lamar with the ball. He'll give it back to Peterson with 5:33 left. Back over to Lamar. 46-21 with the Saints. Brent Lamar with the ball. Be pressed by Zach O'Hara. And they'll pass it to the big man on the inside. Number 23, Drew Matson with the slam home.
What an excellent pass by Drew Peterson. Dissecting the defense, getting into the lane, everybody jumping up in the popcorn machine, and Drew Matson throwing it down.
Wow, and the Saints looking really good on that execution of play, Eddie, as they passed the ball. They were consistent, confident, looked for the open man. They got it to the inside of the big guy, and he drove it home. La Jolla with the ball. With 4:53 left, they'll take it down to the end of their basket. They'll miss the 10-footer. Saints now with a rebound. They bring it up. Brent Lamar will take the 20-foot three-pointer. He'll miss and off the rim of the rebound by La Jolla. And Kevin Cruz, the senior, gets his second rebound of the night. He'll give it to Youngs. Youngs back over to David McCall. McCall will give it to the fast break over to Youngs, and Youngs will go up with it, and he'll be fouled to go to the line for 2.
And we'll see some substitutions for Saints. Coach Hop definitely didn't like that offensive sequence, using about 3 seconds off the 35-second shot, and Brenton throwing up a bomb, which was no good, leading to La Jolla advancing it down the court, and now they're at the free throw line. So we should have massive substitutions now for the Saints.
Youngs will make his first one of 2. Mike Hop with that substitution. That'll be Lamar, Trey Kell, and I believe Juan Moreno just coming out of the game, and that'll bring in a new set of juniors as Drew Peterson, Brent Jones, and Cooper DeGraw now enter the game, as well as Jack Drapp, who's back in there for a third time tonight. They'll bring it up the court. It'll be taken away by La Jolla. La Jolla will bring it up. And the big three-point play by the big man, Kevin Cruz, and it'll be off the backboard and in and out.
It was a good-looking shot by the big man out there throwing up the three-pointer. He banked it, but just barely missed.
Almost went in, 48-22. The Saints up by 26. You're watching high school basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on STPSN.com. We're here at the pit. Steve Eicher alongside Eddie Mendoza, and a big block by the Saints. Brent Jones will bring up the ball. He'll pass it on over to Peterson. Peterson will take the 15-footer off the rim and no good. The rebound by La Jolla. Youngs will throw it all the way up court. He'll give it into David McCall. McCall now with the ball. He'll go up with a turnaround jumper, and he'll be fouled by the Saints. Looks like it's going to be by number 20, Drew Peterson.
You've got to like the La Jolla offense. They're coming down, and there's no give up. They're passing the ball inside, working inside out, and they're getting to the free throw line.
Saints still playing aggressive basketball. 48-22 here in the third period. 3:38 left. John Dixon now checking in for Drew Peterson and Drew Matson, as the La Jolla Vikings will send David McCall to the line to shoot 2. Or how about to shoot 1 for the three-point play?
There you go. This will be an interesting 3 minutes for Saints. The second team is in, and we'll see how they run the offense, run down the clock, see what kind of shots they can get.
DeGraw over to Jones. Jones over to the new guy, John Dixon, who's entering the game. Dixon will give it on over to DeGraw. DeGraw over to Jones. He's at the top of the key. He'll look for the inside to Jack Drapp. La Jolla, Matt Need Matt Needham into the game. We'll close that off for the Saints, and the Saints looking to drive it, and we'll get a backcourt call.
Backcourt violation. Saints, they were looking good there for a while. Used 32 seconds of the 35-second shot clock, making good passes, trying to find the open man, but unfortunately, it was a turnover.
La Jolla now with the ball, and we'll get another foul for number 12, Jake Ryan. La Jolla with the ball. We'll pass it on in to Daniel Farkas. Farkas, give it to the big guy. Eric Brown. Brown looks to the inside to David McCall. McCall will go up for the basket. He'll be fouled to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the game's getting a little sloppy right now, Steve. It's getting a little physical. Referees are letting them play, and you're seeing the ramifications of that. La Jolla is spending a lot of time at the free throw line. I think the refs are going to have to reel this game in just a little bit.
Well, we're seeing, the second team of Saints, probably some third stringers out there getting some playing time as juniors. And the first shot by David McCall will go in. 48-25 here in the third period. 2:45 left. Steve Eicher alongside Eddie Mendoza. You're watching high school basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. Saints with the ball. Jake Ryan will pass it on over to Cooper DeGraw. DeGraw will give it on over to Jack Drapp. Jack Drapp will drive it to the basket, and up with a left-hander is in for 2.
Excellent head fake, excellent drive to the hoop. Exactly what you want to see.
Drapp playing excellent basketball tonight. A couple of points, a couple of rebounds. And we're going to get a foul on La Jolla. It's going to turn the ball back over to the Saints with 2:17 left. Saints up by 24. Cooper DeGraw, passing on over to Jones. Jones will be called for traveling with 2:09 left. Eddie here in the third period.
Yeah, it was a traveling call all against the Saints. One of the things Coach Hop obviously doesn't want to see is the game gets sloppy. Stick to your fundamentals, run your offense, don't worry about the clock. No reason to take early shots or to be out of control. So I'm sure he'll talk about that at the end of this third quarter.
La Jolla with the ball. McCall passing on over to Youngs. Youngs will give it back to McCall. McCall will take the 10-foot turnarounder. It's off the rim, no good. Rebound by the Saints. Cooper DeGraw bring it up. He'll pass it on over to Jones. Jones over to John Dixon. Over to Cooper DeGraw. DeGraw in for the 3, Eddie.
I love that kid. He's not afraid to rain down those threes, and I think that was his third one tonight, wasn't it?
Absolutely. He is just tearing it up here tonight in the pit, and La Jolla will steal the ball away as Youngs will take it and drive it himself. And with 1:23 left, La Jolla will call a timeout with 53-28 here in the third period. And you're watching high school basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. And tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by the St. Augustine Alumni Association. Upcoming alumni events include the annual parochial basketball tournament and the 2012 St. Augustine Alumni Golf Classic, which will be held on May 11th at the beautiful Sequan Golf and Tennis Resort. Come on and save the date and come out and play some golf with us with St. Augustine. For more information, visit us on the web at sdpsn.com. And by Bully's East, whether it's brunch, lunch, or dinner, come on down and enjoy us for a pleasurable dining experience at Bully's East in Mission Valley. And by Tom Davis and the Network for Educational Access, urging education and business, Eddie. And we're here in the third period, 1:23 left. Mike Hop doing a lot of substitutions tonight. We're seeing a lot of new players that we haven't seen during the season here at home. And the Saints are playing great basketball against the La Jolla Vikings, who come into town with an 0-8 record, 3-18 overall. And they're keeping it tight with the Saints and playing some decent basketball.
That's correct. The story for the third quarter is Coach Kamal's got to be really happy with the effort his Vikings are putting out on the court. Like we've said enough already, they're certainly outmanned, but they really had a third period, a period that they could have sulked and really not tried hard. They're actually playing really, really well.
Jack Drapp will extend the lead to 55-28. La Jolla now with the ball. They'll be called for traveling, the big man, Matt Needham. Or correction, the Saints will be called for a traveling call. Matt Needham will bring it into Youngs. Youngs, a junior, will be back next year. One of the top scorers and leaders of this ball team. He'll pass it on over to Brown. Brown will do a give and go over to Kevin Cruz, and he'll throw it out of bounds and turn it over. Saints with the ball with 37 seconds left here in the third period, Eddie.
Exactly. That was a great turnover. It was a great defensive sequence for Saints to force that turnover, and now they're going to be able to run that clock down and basically get the last shot here if they run this offensive set correctly.
Brent Jones, Cooper DeGraw, John Dixon, Jack Drapp, and Jake Ryan. All non-starters except for Cooper DeGraw, who came in last week for Brenton Lamar, who played a wonderful game as Brenton sat out sick. 3 seconds left, La Jolla with the ball, and the last shot from half court is no good. And that'll end the third quarter of play as La Jolla will throw it up for one last Hail Mary. And I don't know if we're going to be able to keep playing basketball tonight because they threw it up and it got stuck up there in the rafters there, Eddie.
Steve, from what I understand, you had some pretty good hops in your day. You may have to jump over the bench and get out there and see if you can't get up there and grab that ball.
Well, for a game that's kind of out of reach right now, that ball is also out of reach. So they're doing the best they can. It's the game ball. And, well, tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Tom Davis and the Network for Educational Access, bridging education and business, and by Bullies East. Bullies East, known for their superior quality, exceptional value, and of course, friendly service. Come on down and join us for prime rib, seafood, and lots of adult beverages at Bullies East in Mission Valley, and by the San Diego Portville Schools Network. Log on to SDPSN.com for all of the Saints home varsity games, or you can purchase your copies on SDPSN.com. Saints basketball program would like to thank their following sponsors for their continued support throughout the season: Eddie's Diner, All Pro Stickers, Prime Sports, Southwest Self-Storage, and DeLucas Pizza. As we kick off the fourth quarter, as La Jolla brings in the ball right in front of the broadcast booth, Eddie. And they got a lot of work to do if they're going to catch up and make this a game for themselves.
Yeah, La Jolla just was called for an offensive foul, and they certainly can't do that being down, what are they down, 20 or 30?
The Saints front getting a big break. Mike Kopp showing lots of confidence in his young team of 5 who are on the floor now. Saints with the ball. John Dixon will give it off over to Brent Jones. Jones will pass it on over to Cooper DeGraw. Youngs will knock it out of bounds with 7:28 left here in the fourth period of play.
Shot clock down to 11 seconds, so they're going to have to get in the offense quickly here.
And a great inbound pass from the Saints from Cooper DeGraw.
Steve, that was an excellent design inbounds play.
Wow,
I mean, that worked to perfection.
I think that was Jake Ryan that threw that one up in the air.
It absolutely was.
57-28, 7:12 left. St. Augustine basketball. Saints celebrating their 90th school year as we celebrated alumni night here at the pit. Eddie, you were sitting next to me, and this place was packed. The Saints came out, played a tough Scripps Ranch team, and wind up taking a win home for not only for themselves but also for all the folks here at
Absolutely. After that game, we received a lot of emails from all the Saints fans from across the country, and they certainly enjoyed the broadcast, and especially all those guys up at the dorm at LLC in Oregon. They definitely sent everybody well wishes, and it was nice to see the pit packed and the Saints pull out a victory.
Well, the Saints back in 2005 having one of their greatest years in basketball history, and one of the greatest ever in San Diego when The team finished with a CIF title and a 28-0 record by beating Crawford 74-68 as the Saints advanced to the state championship with a 31-0 record and by beating Oak Park 70-54. Eddie, what a tremendous season they had back in 05, and Mike Hopp was the head coach of that team.
That team was unbelievable. I had the opportunity to see a lot of their games, and that year they were challenged maybe 2 or 3 games. I know they went back east and played in the St. Augustine tournament, and I believe, I can't remember, it was Andre Hardy, but one of the members of the team made a 3/4 basket, the length of the court, to secure that victory, to keep them undefeated until they went to the state finals up in Sacramento. And in that state final game, they were in control. They were in control for most of that game. It just got away in the last 3 or 4 minutes. It was unfortunate, but it was a great team. No doubt one of the best teams, probably the best team that Saints has ever had.
And how exciting that they actually got to play at the Arco Arena, winning 67-56, holding an 11-point lead in the third quarter, and then winning the state finals. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible for the Saints.
That's correct.
Saints with the second longest winning streak in San Diego history at 41 games, not counting the state playoffs, set during the 05 and during the 04-05 season, with their streak trails only to be held by the great Bill Walton, NBA basketball player, as his sons went to Torrey Pines High School, and Luke Walton, who played with the Lakers, has big-time history here in San Diego.
Well, Steve, we could have only hoped that the Walton sons went to Torrey Pines. They actually went to Cathedral and were dominant against the Saints. So we would have fared a little better had they been at Torrey Pines, because we wouldn't have had to play them in the playoffs. But, no problem on that mistake. What a family there.
Well, thank you for the correction on that. La Jolla with the ball with 6:06 left, 62-30. Saints up by 32. One of their biggest leads ever this year in high school play. Saints will steal it away. John Dixon playing great basketball tonight. He's looking pretty solid.
You love to see that. Mike's pretty deep into his bench right now, and it doesn't matter how far down you go. They're all fundamentally sound, and they're all working hard.
He's a 6'1" junior. He'll be coming back next year to play for Mike Hopp. Saints will bring up the ball with 5:34 left. You're watching high school basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com, and the Saints extending their lead by 36. The Vikings here at the pit. Head coach Kamal Asaf in his 8th year with the team. Led this Viking team back in 08 and 09 with CIF championships. So a lot of respect for this head coach, who's bringing an 0-8 league play and 3-18 overall to the pit.
Absolutely. Like we've said all night, it's not for lack of effort. The effort is there for the Vikings. It's just they're a little undermanned this year, and we've beaten that horse, but they're out here playing hard, and it's nice to see.
That's going to take Kevin Cruz to the line. Cruz will extend.
Okay, Steve, it's really nice now because Mike is definitely deep into the bench. A couple kids in there that don't get to see very much playing time at all, and this place just might erupt if number 25, Bobby Kea, scores a basket. So it's nice to see, and we'll see how these guys can play.
Kea in there for the first time. I think I saw him play the first time we were here broadcasting. He got in for about a minute of play. Kea, a senior, 6'1", and like you said,
Bobby Kea is a fan favorite, so the pit will go crazy anytime he does anything, so you'll hear it.
And 3 out of the 450 guests here are just going wild for Bobby Kea. He's getting some, we'll call it internet TV time. Kea now into the game. John Dixon will take the 15-footer from the baseline. It'll go off the rim with 4:43 left. 66-31. La Jolla will bring up the ball. And a substitution as the big man, Matt Needham, will enter the game. as well as Daniel Farkas. Jack Smith now in the game for La Jolla. He'll pass it on over to Needham. Needham will be pressed by Dixon. He'll give it on over to Farkas. Farkas on over to the newcomer Jack Smith, and Smith will turn it over. It'll be taken away by John Dixon. He'll pass it on up to Tristan Juarez, who will take it home to the basket for his first two, and he just got in the game.
Absolutely, and the fans love him also. It was a nice, I'm not sure how many points he scored this year. That might be his first basket.
How about that? The 5'10 junior getting some playing time. Now we've seen everybody in the game tonight, Eddie, and that's got to be exciting for their parents too, because how often do they get to play?
Absolutely. You got to love that smile on his face after he made that basket. He couldn't run down the court quick enough. He wanted a little more. And there's 3 minutes and 58 seconds left, so hopefully everybody's going to get in the books. Nothing like seeing your name in the paper.
La Jolla will score another two, 68-33 here in the fourth period. 3:48 left in the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com. Steve Eicher alongside Eddie Mendoza, the all-time great basketball player, St. Augustine's back in 1977. La Jolla with the ball. They'll make something of it here with 3 minutes left. Jack Smith with the ball. He'll pass it on the inside to the big man, Matt Needham. He won't be able to handle it. Saints with the ball, pushing and shoving. And a press from La Jolla. Jake Ryan will have it taken away from him. Jake Ryan playing a great game tonight. Needham will go up for the three-pointer, and it'll be an air ball. It'll be rebounded by La Jolla. Jack Smith now with the ball. He'll take it home to the basket, and he'll be blocked by Jake Ryan. Ryan will be called for a traveling call and a turnover back to La Jolla, Eddie.
Yeah, there's a lot of coaching going on from both sides. It's 3 minutes left. You don't want the game to get out of control. Everybody needs to stick to the fundamentals, become a better ball player. It's not time to get ragged and to get lazy. So these kids are enjoying their moment on the court. And
La Jolla went out with the ball. They're playing a little bit more aggressively, as well as Jake Ryan is. If you're going to get into the game, Eddie, you're going to play your heart out, and Jake Ryan is playing his heart out tonight.
Absolutely. His son played actually for the Saints last year and was a dominant member of that team and went on to a small college in Chicago, so he's continuing his playing career. And Matt is only a junior, Jake is only a junior, and so we're looking for big things from him at the end of this year and next year.
Eric Brown will knock it home, 68-34, with 2:50 left here in the fourth period of play. He'll get another shot at it. You're watching high school basketball here at the pit at Doherty Gym. The Vikings and the Saints, and the rebound after a miss by Eric Brown. He'll get 1 of 2 in. Saints will bring up the ball. John Dixon will pass it to the inside to Bobby Kea. Kea will have it taken away by La Jolla. And the big man, number 3, Eric Brown, will shoot the three-pointers off the rim and no good. And the rebound by La Jolla by Madigan Sanders. And he'll go up and be fouled. And he'll go to the line to make it a three-point play, Eddie.
Yeah, it was a great offensive sequence there. He's working hard down there. Got the ball, a little head fake. Got a couple Saintsmen in the popcorn machine. Converted the basket, and now he's at the free throw line. Just what the coach wants.
La Jolla Vikings, 3-18 and 0-8 in league play. Their team made up of Tyson Youngs, Jack Smith, Eric Brown, Zach O'Hara, Daniel Farkas, Eric Dawson, Jahan Tajran, Manny Torres, who's out injured tonight, the top scorer and rebounder for the team, Kevin Cruz, who's second with 10 points overall, Matt Needham, Cameron Baggett, David McCall, and Madigan Sanders, to name a few. Saints now up 68-36 here in the fourth period, 2:10 left. And a timeout by the Saints. And tonight's timeout's been brought to you by Tom Davis and the Network for Educational Access, bridging education and business. And by Bullies East. Whether it's brunch, lunch, or dinner, Bullies is serving it up until midnight. Be sure to join us for a pleasurable dining experience and head on down after the game and see Derek and the crew at Bullies East in Mission Valley. And by the San Diego Parochial Schools Network, log on for all of the broadcasts here at St. Augustine's for all their home games on SDPSN.com. Eddie, 2:10 left here at the pit.
Yeah, Steve, I like to see that. That was the second time Coach Hopkins called a timeout when obviously it's not necessary. He's ahead 68-36, but you know what? It was a coaching opportunity. He brought these kids over to the side and said, hey, do not lose focus. This is what we want to do. Continue working hard and stay fundamentally sound. So it was an excellent coaching timeout, and we should see play pick up a little bit here in the last 2 minutes.
And Eddie, on the floor, you're seeing an all-junior team from the St. Augustine Saints, and these guys are going to be playing here next year, and they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're getting their time to shine here, so that's always nice. Still waiting for Bobby Kaya to throw it down so the place can erupt, but there's a minute 54 left, so I'm sure that'll happen.
La Jolla with the ball. Under 2 minutes of play here at the pit, fourth quarter. Steve Eicher alongside Eddie Mendoza. La Jolla look for the inside pass. Saints putting some good pressure on them, an all-junior team on the court. And the outside shot by Daniel Farkas will go in and out. The 20-footer, no good. Tristan Juarez, the 5'10 junior, will bring it up the court. He'll shoot it up. It'll be blocked and fouled. He'll go to the line for his first two free throws of the night. And I believe we have
Steve,
an all-time great, announcer.
Steve, I know you've been waiting for this all night. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to put this W in the refrigerator, so I'm going to shut the door and turn the lights out because the eggs are cooling, the butter's getting hard, and the Jello's jiggling, and we'll take this W and move on.
Okay, so I was looking for the word, but I think it was Chick Hearn.
Absolutely,
who
the
used
greatest.
to say that after every Laker game. Minute 13 left, 68-37. Saints over the Vikings. Vikings playing to the last second. Got to be happy with 37 points against the Saints. Their average on a regular in a regular game is under 30 a game. And they've got 37 on the Saints. That's an accomplishment tonight for this young Viking team.
Absolutely. There's, like I said, you can take away, if you're a Viking fan, you can take away the fact that obviously they worked hard all night, scored some good points, never gave up, played good, tough defense. And on the Saints side, you know, you got to be happy too. We spoke at the very beginning of the game about this being a SEAL event, coming in, getting the job done, and just getting out. And the Saints has done that. Been no injuries, and I think they have some things to build on for that big University City game coming up on Friday night.
Yeah, they're going to go 3 home games in a row now, 3 wins, and the Saints will add to their lead 70-38 with under 40 seconds left to play. And a great thing too is that the La Jolla fans got to stay home tonight, didn't have to drive in the rain. And they got to see exciting Viking basketball on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network on SDPSN.com.
Absolutely. Now we've got 34 seconds to give Bobby Kaya a shot. He's at half court. I want him to throw it up from there, driving to the hoop.
And Kaya will take it himself. The left-hander will come off the rim with 24 seconds left, Eddie.
He's doing everything he can to get in the books, and I definitely don't blame him. He's working hard, and hopefully he's going to get a shot to drop tonight.
Well, I'm surprised that his fan group didn't bring the Bobby Kaya banner, but I'm sure we'll see one next year for him. And I'm excited to watch him play basketball next year. Trey Kell's coming back. He's coming back. Tristan Juarez is coming back. Spencer Dixon. His brother John Dixon. I think they're brothers. I went to school with their dad.
There's a Dixon clan. They're famous here at Saints. There's a lot of them. I think these two out here are actually cousins. But long years, a lot of Dixons have been coming to St. Augustine High School. Well, it doesn't look like Bobby's going to get his chance. There's 14 seconds left in the game. The 70-39 St. Augustine lead, but oh well, there's always Friday.
And the Saints and the Vikings with about 10 seconds left. La Jolla will throw it up. Tajran entering the game, and he'll get a shot at it. It'll come off the rim, but he just came into the game, Eddie, and he's throwing up a three-pointer, and it almost went in.
That's wonderful. If you come in, you better know where the basket is.
He's going to get another chance, and a three-pointer from Tashran is off the rim, and it'll be rebounded for the final point from number 40, Madigan Sanders, as the Saints beat the Vikings in a 70-41 here at the pit, Eddie. And after 4 periods of play, it was the St. Augustine Saints over the La Jolla Vikings, 70-41. And tonight's broadcast on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network has been brought to you by Tom Davis and the Network for Educational Access, bridging education and business. From all of us here at the pit, for Eddie Mendoza, I'm Steve Eicher. We'll see you on Friday evening here at Saints as University City comes to town on the San Diego Parochial Schools Network. Good night, everybody.
The following sports program is brought to you in living color on SDPSN.